The name of this sacred place comes from an Aramaic word meaning oil press and refers to the olive trees planted within the garden walls. But did you know that according to Eastern Orthodox tradition, Gethsemane is also the final resting place of the Virgin Mary, who was buried there by the disciples? The Garden of Gethsemane figures prominently in the Passion story, as it is the place where Jesus prayed shortly before he was betrayed and arrested. Matthew, in his Gospel, refers to the garden by name, while Luke simply refers to the place of Christ's prayer at the Mount of Olives. Both are correct, as Gethsemane is located at the base of the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. The Gospels tell us that Jesus and his disciples came to Gethsemane shortly after the Last Supper. Jesus knelt down and began to pray, asking the Father that if it were possible to remove this cup from him, referring to the suffering and death that Jesus would endure in the coming days. The Lord then concluded with a pledge of obedience to his Father, praying, "Not my will, but your will be done." The Scriptures tell us that an angel came to minister to Christ, and that as he continued praying, his agony was so great that the Lord sweated drops of blood. When Jesus was finished praying, he returned to his disciples and found them asleep. He woke them with the warning to watch and pray so that they would not enter into temptation. It was then that Judas arrived at Gethsemane with a multitude and betrayed Jesus with a kiss. Since the days of the early church, Christians have flocked to this holy site as a way of connecting with the story of Jesus. Eusebius, who is considered to be one of the fathers of church history, wrote of Gethsemane as a pilgrimage site for the faithful. We know from the writings of St. Jerome that a church stood on the garden grounds in the 4th century, though it was destroyed by the Persians in 614 AD. Today, 2 historic churches are located on this site. The first is the Church of All Nations, a Catholic church that contains the rock where Jesus is believed to have prayed. The second is the Church of Mary Magdalene, a Russian Orthodox church built by Tsar Alexander III in honor of his mother. Even Christians who have never made a pilgrimage to a holy site can experience the power of this important place in the life of Christ. Writer Oswald Chambers issues a challenge to us in his devotional classic, My Utmost for His Highest. He asks, do you continue to go with Jesus? The way lies through Gethsemane, through the city gate, outside the camp. The way lies alone, and the way lies until there is no trace of a footstep left. Only the voice, "Follow me."